Hello and welcome to Sarah and Paul Conversation. In today's episode, Sarah and Paul are going to explore the most important phrasal verbs in English, the ones you'll hear every single day. Phrasal verbs can feel like a mystery, but they don't have to be. After this conversation, you'll understand them in a completely new way. Here we go.
Hi everyone, welcome back to Sarah and Paul Conversation. So happy you're here with us today.
Hello everyone, and today we are diving into one of the most requested topics we have ever had, phrasal verbs.
Phrasal verbs. The topic that seems to divide English learners into two camps, the ones who find them fascinating and the ones who find them absolutely terrifying.
And I think the terrifying camp is considerably larger.
It is, and I completely understand why, because phrasal verbs are one of those things that nobody really prepares you for. You learn vocabulary, you learn grammar, you feel like you're making real progress, and then you sit down with a native speaker and they say something like, "I'll look into it," or "she got away with it," or "we need to figure this out." And you think, I know every single word in that sentence, but I have absolutely no idea what it means.
That moment is so disorienting because you feel like you should understand it. All the individual words are completely familiar, but the combination creates something entirely new.
Exactly, and that's what makes phrasal verbs different from ordinary vocabulary. A phrasal verb is a combination of a verb and a particle, usually a preposition or an adverb, that together create a meaning you could not predict just from the individual words alone.
So look means one thing, and after means another. But look after means something completely different.
To take care of someone or something. I look after my younger sister at weekends. She looks after her elderly neighbor. We need someone to look after the plants while we're away. You would never guess that meaning simply from look and after taken separately.
And that's the puzzle. That's why phrasal verbs feel like a code that native speakers know and learners are still trying to crack.
But here's what I want to say, and I mean this genuinely. Phrasal verbs are not impossible. They're not arbitrary. There are patterns, there are families, there are ways of thinking about them that make the whole thing far more manageable. And today we're going to focus on the most important ones, the ones that come up constantly in every type of conversation, in every context.
Where do we start?
We start with the most essential verb in all of phrasal verb English, get.
Get.
Get. If there is one verb that native speakers build phrasal verbs around more than any other, it is get. And the reason is that get is already one of the most flexible verbs in English on its own. It means to receive, to become, to arrive, to obtain. But combined with different particles, it becomes something extraordinary.
The simplest is get up, which everyone knows, to rise from bed to begin the day. I get up at 7. She gets up before anyone else in the house. We got up late and missed breakfast. But look what happens when you change the particle. Get on, get off, get over, get away with, get rid of, get through. Each combination is a completely different idea.
Get on. How are you getting on? That's a very British expression.
Very British indeed. How are you getting on means how are you managing? How is it going for you? I'm getting on well with the new job. We got on fine, considering. But get on also describes a relationship. I get on really well with my colleagues. She gets on brilliantly with her mother-in-law, which, I should say, is rarer than you might hope.
Ha. And get over.
Get over is one of the most emotionally rich phrasal verbs in English. It means to recover from something difficult, an illness, a loss, a disappointment, a heartbreak. It took me months to get over that cold. I'm not sure she's ever really got over losing that job. But there's a second, more joyful use. I can't get over how beautiful this is. That means you're astonished, overwhelmed by something wonderful, unable to quite believe it.
So get over works both for painful recovery and for pleasant disbelief.
Yes, the same phrase can hold both grief and wonder. Context carries everything, and then get away with to do something wrong, something risky, and face no consequences. He forgot to prepare the report and completely got away with it. She broke the rules and nobody noticed. She got away with it. There's a slightly mischievous flavor to that phrase, a sense of the universe letting you off the hook.
Get rid of, which is wonderfully practical.
Wonderfully practical. To remove, to throw away, to eliminate something you no longer want or need. I need to get rid of all these old books. They finally got rid of the outdated system. And then get through. To survive something difficult, to manage to finish something, to successfully make contact with someone. I don't know how I got through that week. Can you get through to her? I keep calling, but there's no answer. I finally got through the whole report.
So many different meanings just from changing the particle.
And this is actually one of the most useful strategies for learning phrasal verbs. Learn them in families rather than in isolation. Instead of trying to memorize 50 unrelated phrasal verbs from a list, learn all the get combinations together. Your brain starts to feel the rhythm of that verb. It starts to sense the territory. And adding a new one later becomes much easier than starting from scratch.
That's a beautiful approach. So, the get family, what's next?
Look, and the look family is equally rich. We already mentioned look after, to take care of. But that's just the beginning.
Look forward to is one of the most essential phrasal verbs for everyday polite communication. I'm looking forward to the weekend. We're so looking forward to seeing you. I'm not really looking forward to this meeting. It expresses anticipation, positive or gently dreaded, and the structure matters. Look forward to is always followed by a noun or a gerund, the ing form of a verb. I'm looking forward to meeting you. Never I'm looking forward to meet you. That mistake is extremely common and worth avoiding.
And look up?
Look up has two very distinct meanings. The first is entirely practical. To search for information. I'll look it up. She looked up the word she didn't know. Look it up online. This is something you hear constantly and say constantly. The second meaning is warmer. Things are looking up means the situation is improving. After a really difficult few months, things are finally looking up.
And look into?
Look into means to investigate, to examine something more carefully. The police are looking into the matter. I'll look into it and come back to you. It's extremely useful in professional life, in meetings, in emails, in any situation where you need to sound careful and responsible without committing to anything specific. I'll look into it is one of those phrases that buys you time in a very graceful way.
Huh. Very diplomatically useful. And look out?
Look out means watch for danger, be careful. Look out, there's a car coming, but also if someone looks out for you, they protect your interests informally, they keep an eye on you. My older sister always looked out for me at school. It's a phrase with real warmth in it.
Let's move to put, because put is absolutely everywhere in daily English.
Put is everywhere, put off, put up with, put on, put away, each one distinct and very commonly used. Put off means to postpone, to delay. I keep putting it off. She put off the difficult conversation for weeks. But put off also means to discourage someone, to make them lose enthusiasm or appetite. The smell put me off completely. His attitude really put me off, meaning it made her feel negative, uncomfortable, unwilling to continue. Two quite different meanings from the same combination.
Put up with is one I find particularly expressive.
To put up with something means to tolerate it, to endure it, often over a long period and often without complaining. I don't know how she puts up with all that noise. I've put up with this situation for years. There's a quiet resilience in that phrase, a kind of patient, dignified endurance, and then put on, the most literal meaning is to dress. I'll put on my coat, she put on her glasses. But put on also means to play something, put on some music, put on a film. And there's a performative meaning, to pretend, to fake. She put on a brave face. He was putting it on, meaning it wasn't genuine. He was performing something he didn't actually feel.
Now, some more that deserve attention. Turn up and turn down.
Turn up has two lovely meanings. The first is simply to arrive, often unexpectedly or late. He finally turned up an hour after the party started. She turned up out of nowhere. The second meaning is to increase, turn up the volume, turn up the heat, and the opposite, turn down, means both to decrease something and to refuse or reject an offer. She turned down the job. He turned down the invitation. I turned down the music because the neighbors complained.
I love turn down for rejection because it feels so final and yet so gentle at the same time.
It does. And then break down, which is one of the most important phrasal verbs for describing difficulty and failure. A machine breaks down when it stops working. My car broke down on the motorway, but a person can also break down, to lose emotional control, to cry, to become overwhelmed. She broke down when she heard the news. And a process breaks down when it falls apart. The negotiations broke down completely.
And run out of, which everyone experiences.
Everyone. To run out of something means to have none left, to have exhausted the supply. We've run out of milk. I completely ran out of time. She ran out of ideas just when she needed them most. It's one of those phrases you feel in your body, that sudden absence of something you needed.
Give up, come across, figure out.
Give up, to stop trying, to abandon an effort. I gave up after the third attempt. Don't give up, it really is worth it, but give up can also mean to surrender something willingly. She gave up her seat on the train. He gave up his career in law to travel, come across, to find something by chance without looking for it. I came across this book in a second-hand shop and it changed how I think about everything, and also to make an impression. How did I come across in the meeting? He comes across as very confident, but he's actually quite shy, and figure out, to understand something, to solve something through thought and effort. I can't figure out how this works. She finally figured out what was wrong. We need to figure this out together.
So how do you recommend people actually learn phrasal verbs? Because understanding them in a conversation is one thing. Using them naturally is quite another.
The most important thing, and I say this every time this question comes up, is to meet phrasal verbs in context, not in lists. Don't sit down with a page of 60 phrasal verbs and try to memorize them. You'll forget the vast majority by the next morning. Instead, listen, watch, read real English, and when you encounter a phrasal verb you don't know, write it down with the whole sentence. Not just put off, but I keep putting off the difficult conversation. The sentence gives it life. It gives it a home in your memory.
And then use them, even imperfectly, especially imperfectly.
Yes. The only way phrasal verbs become natural is through use, through saying them out loud and hearing how they sound in your own voice, through writing them in messages, in emails, in journal entries, and noticing that each time they come a little more easily. Mistakes in this process are not failures, they are rehearsals.
Can we finish with a quick summary?
Start with the get family: get up, get on with, get over, get rid of, get away with, get through. Then the look family: look after, look forward to, look up, look into, look out for, then put off, put up with, put on, turn up, turn down, break down, run out of, give up, come across, figure out. That is already 20 phrasal verbs that will appear in your life, in your English, over and over and over again.
And once you have those, the next ones become easier?
Much easier, because you start to feel the logic beneath the surface. You begin to notice that off often suggests separation or completion. Take off, give off, cut off. That over often suggests recovery or control. Get over, take over, go over. That through often carries a sense of persistence, of reaching the other side. Get through, go through, come through. The particles begin to whisper their meanings to you.
The particles begin to whisper their meanings to you. That is such a perfect image.
It takes time, but it happens. And when it does, when you hear a brand new phrasal verb and you think, I've never heard that combination before, but I understand it, that is one of the most satisfying moments in the whole journey of learning a language.
We'd love to hear from you in the comments. What's the phrasal verb you find most useful or most confusing? Share it below. We read every single comment, and we are always so glad to hear which expressions our listeners find most interesting.
And if this episode helped you today, please like the video, subscribe to the channel, and share it with someone who is learning English. It means an enormous amount to us every time someone passes these conversations on.
Thank you so much for being here with us.
Remember, you are not bad at English. You are just getting better every single day.
Goodbye, everyone.
Bye.